Good morning, kids. How's everybody doing? Welcome to The Abyss. I am, of course, your host, The Eternal Abyss. I have my coffee. I hope you have yours too. And I want to say hello to everybody on all the various platforms that I'm on. We're live, we're here, and I want to do the usual greets. Hello to everybody on Bitwave, on Periscope, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Float, and on DLive. Hello. How is everybody doing? I haven't loaded up that chat to see everything yet, so let me go. I have a little chat thing so I can see chat on all the platforms that I'm on. So here we go. Let me get that up and running here so I can interact and be interactive. Because that's always fun, right? Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. I already got a message on YouTube. Hey, thanks for watching there on YouTube. Nikki Haley, John's Trump 75 million voters. She won't be able to get elected for dog catcher after this. No, she won't. We'll talk about Nikki Haley. She is one of the main topics of today's episode. For sure. No doubt. Yeah, one of the biggest things though. Well, people's memories may be short, Illustrator. And hey, by the way, thanks for watching the stream. People's memory can be short. That is true. And that's unfortunate. People should retain a longer memory when it comes to politics, in my view. Like, first of all, the problem with Nikki. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. The first thing I wanted to well, you know what? Forget it. We'll just talk about Nikki Haley since we're talking about her anyways. I was going to talk to her, talk about her, and then, but that was going to be like a secondary topic because to me, the main topic is what's going on with New York and Cuomo. But all right. So Nikki Haley, there's this article that came out where she's basically distancing herself from Trump and Trump supporters essentially, and saying, oh yeah, this, that, this other, and we shouldn't have followed him, and we shouldn't have gone along with all this, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, I don't know why this is shocking people. I really don't know why this is shocking people. And by the way, no, I did not go to Brazil for my coffee. It took a little while to get it right, all right? Hey, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it right. That's my opinion. No, what ended up happening here is nothing surprising to me. Was she all right as a U.S. representative in the UN? Like she was a UN ambassador, whatever her title was. Yeah, I think she did an okay job at that. Though she was more okay. Actually, let me be more accurate. She was okay at saying what needed to be said. When it was time to act on anything, I didn't see her act on anything. Like, I don't know if she did anything in the UN that was worthy of any sort of praise, except for saying certain things that were the right things that people wanted to hear, like conservatives wanted to hear. She kind of played the Lindsey Graham game where you say you talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk. And that's the problem that I've had with Nikki Haley for quite a while. And it's not just that. The whole South Carolina thing with the Confederate flag. Back then, I knew and I called it that she was not to be trusted as a Republican. She was not to be trusted as a conservative. Not because I have any particular care for the Confederate flag. I don't. The only problem, though, is that she started this whole whirlwind of the Confederate flag needing to be banned everywhere. It was an empty gesture after a shooting to try and appease the left and appease the media and appease everybody when the flag didn't have anything to do with anything. Because the flag at this point is just part of the South's identity here in the United States. So it was just dumb. It was attacking her own constituents. It was attacking American history. Even if it's not a good history, it's still part of our history, and attacking it isn't going to make it go away. So, to me, that was the biggest problem with her actions. She really did not handle that situation well, and I never thought that she was really good as a Republican. I never thought she was really good as she was never a MAGA person. She was one of those rhinos. And I've always called that. I always said that. I said that from the very beginning. And nobody ever listens to me, apparently. So. Well, yeah, I mean, the Confederate flag isn't just slavery. Obviously, it stands for much, much more than that. So to equate that to some nonsense like it's like the Nazi flag, for example, that's not accurate at all if you study even a modicum of American history. And again, I'm not here defending the South. I'm not saying that the South did right in the Civil War. I'm not saying that at all. But to create an uproar. Well, yeah, I mean the Jolly Roger is probably more focused on villainy as well. I would say that too. There's flags right now, like, and people can buy Antifa flags online, and nobody bats an eye about that, and that's basically domestic terrorism. Why is everybody okay with that? And nobody's talking about that. You could probably, if I search on Amazon right now, I'm willing to bet money that I could find an Antifa flag. Let me go to Amazon right now. We're doing this live on the air. See, there's Antifa t-shirts, and you can get a flag. You can get a garden neck gator face scarf mask. Other t-shirts, more flags. This is ridiculous. But no. We can't have the Confederate flag up there. Really? Is that right, Illustrator? I was not aware of that. Is that so? So you can have George Floyd stuff on there, but you can't have Ashley Babbitt stuff on there. Now, last time I checked, Ashley Babbitt didn't put a gun to the belly of a pregnant woman. Or am I just, living in an alternate reality here? Excuse me 1 second. Wow. Okay. That's ridiculous. I'm looking at that link that you sent me. So, yeah. Unbelievable. This is ridiculous. I can't look at this garbage. It's hilarious in every wrong way. Yeah, it's also very, very sad. It's very, very sad that in this day and age. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my stuff here, so I'm making a lot of noise probably. It's sad in this day and age that we glorify people who break into people's homes, that jam guns into the stomach of pregnant women, who after you saw, if you saw the entire video like I did, you know that this guy, he was no real victim here. He was no real victim. Hey MZ, how you doing? Welcome to the stream on YouTube. Um, the guy was sitting in the back seat of a police cruiser with with all the doors open, basically. At least the rear doors were all open, saying he couldn't breathe. Sitting upright in the back seat of a cruiser. And his system was like full of all these drugs. The guy obviously, whether the police would have been sitting on his neck or not, he would not have survived. No matter what. That guy, he was going to be a goner that day, or sooner, or later. I don't know. But the point is, it was all the drugs in his system that pretty much did it. And he was a criminal. And I'm not saying that, it's okay to kill criminals. I've already gone through this sort of thing when we talked about this the first time around. But I mean, people need to stop to pull their heads out of their ass to a certain extent here and say, okay, listen, you don't need to go around killing people. Obviously, police don't need to use excessive force. Obviously, there's no arguments there. But at the same time, it's like, let's stop creating deities and saints out of criminals, drug abusers, and people who, if they would just not engage in those sort of activities and would not engage in illegal activities and would just listen to what the cops say and wouldn't fight back and wouldn't make a big deal out of things, it would just go along with the system, whether the system is just or unjust. If you're wrongfully arrested and wrongfully prosecuted and put in jail for a period of time, it's not like I'm saying just suck it up. No, of course not. It sucks. It's not a good thing. But go through the system at least. If you get arrested, guess what? You can sue the police for wrongful arrest. You can sue the department. You can sue the state. You can't sue the city. So just being all, being all like just what happens in 99.9% of these scenarios, where all of it could have been avoided if everybody on all sides would have just followed protocols. And there's nothing racially motivated behind any of it. We wouldn't be wasting any time talking about this because it wouldn't be an issue. Because it's not a racial issue. But yeah, Nikki Haley's a cunt. Oh, you don't have to underscore that. You can type that whole thing out. Listen, I'll actually do that for you. CUNT. There you go. I'm done with the censorship, the self-censorship nonsense. I'm gonna say it. If someone's a cunt, they're a cunt, and she is. And I had called that a long time ago. But all these conservatives, oh, I am beyond salty, my friend. I'm beyond salty. This isn't really salty. This is more with the fact that I saw my country die before my eyes. I saw my country stolen away before my eyes. I saw a dictatorship put in power under military lockdown. And now you have websites like this. Hey. Hold up. How can you be salty with that song playing? It's such a nice song, and apparently incredibly racist. I don't know. Apparently, I have no idea. No, I mean, thank you for the ice cream, by the way. Thank you for the ice cream, unicycle man. So thank you so much. Hey, Dust Bunny on YouTube. How you doing? 12-hour stream? Oh, I don't know about that, man. I got stuff I gotta do. I got other things going on today. One day I may do like a 24-hour stream or something like that, or a 12-hour stream, something like that, just for fun. We may do that one day. I don't know when, but we may do that. But I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out stuff to do during the 12-hour stream because I can't talk for 12 hours straight. I'm gonna lose my voice if I do that. Trust the fucking plan. Yeah. All those Q-tards trusting the plan. I just went from general Catholic nice guy and Bitwave of all places to correctly calling Haley a cunt like the rest of us do. Well, listen. I try to maintain. I'm gonna kind of steal a line from John Panette. He says, he used to say when he was alive, he was like, I try to maintain my cherub-like demeanor, and I'm gonna steal from him and say, I try to maintain my Catholic-like demeanor here, but they pull that out of you. They reach in and they press the right buttons, and they make you go, cunt, bitch, like, damn it. But this is the problem. Is what I'm saying is, like, you have people like, I don't radicalize, I rationalize. That's right. And I call cunts cunts. Hey, I calls them how I sees them. It's a very pragmatic thing. An apple is an apple. I'm gonna call an apple if an apple is an apple. No, but I had called out on this whole thing with Nikki Haley a long time ago, and I had called out on several other Republicans a long time ago. But a lot of people, they were just drooling over her. Oh, she's gonna be the next president. Oh, she's so freaking awesome. No, she's not. She is absolutely not. And this is another clear indication of it. And I would like to know, like, actually, if she has any real interest of speaking frankly, what was so wrong about what Trump said and did? In 3.5 years, he created 17 million jobs. Unemployment was at an all-time low for every demographic. Our economy was roaring. We were energy independent. He was securing our borders. He hadn't started one single war. He had gotten rid of ISIS. He had reduced the amount of troops that we had in the Middle East and the world. He was doing less and less world policing. Oh, but the mean tweets. Oh, the mean tweets. Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, for people to get upset over a tweet, I only have one thing to say to people like that. If you are so upset over a tweet that you would rather hand the reins of your country over to a dictator who is a pedophile, whose son is a pedophile, who is a consistent liar, who's going to destroy your economy, who doesn't give a shit about your health because he just raised insulin prices on you, then I'm sorry, you're fucking dumb. And you need to get over your little feels. That's really what it boils down to for me. What was so wrong about, making our economy go well? Apparently I have a dissenter in Periscope here. Someone called Midwest. How stupid am I? Yeah. No, it's better to have someone who raises the price of insulin. It's better to have people like Cuomo in power, right? I'm making stuff up. Okay, why did Biden raise the price of insulin then? Why is unemployment already climbing under Biden? Why is he opening our borders during a pandemic? I'm not making anything up, Midwest, and you're a shill and you're a liar for the left. You can frankly go fuck yourself. And you can get off my stream because I'm not going to tolerate this bullshit from anybody, much less a rando on Periscope. So anyways, mentally in Periscope. I don't know, but apparently I'm attracting all sorts of wonderful people today. No, I'm in no mood for this nonsense. People best not fuck with me right now. Let's just put it that way. But this is a problem. This is a problem that we have now. Is that we have there's not really much alternative out there for people who are conservative and people who just care about America. That's really the problem that we have nowadays, because what's going on here in politics? You have one guy who's a rhino and a never Trumper, wants to get all the never Trumpers and start their own political party, right? You have, and I don't remember the dude's name off the top of my head. He's so irrelevant to me that I'm not even bothering. We're back to sucking China's dick, but thank God we have no more mean tweets. I know. Yeah. Thank God for no mean tweets. Hey, Super Susie, welcome to the stream. Like, very well, maybe. I have no idea, Illustrator. Well, it's still morning for me, but good evening to you, Super Susie. Welcome to the stream. Always a pleasure to have you here. I'm going to adjust my windows here so I can take a look at all my chats happening at the same time. Oh, caused the death of 5 people storming the Capitol. No, he didn't cause anybody's death. He never told anybody to storm the Capitol. On the other side, you had people that were Democrats allowing Chaz and allowing rioting and looting and killing in the streets for months and months and months. Why are you not outraged over that? Why have selective outrage? Why have selective outrage only for a group of people? And actually, the police, the security in the Capitol building killed a woman that was unarmed. Why aren't people sanctifying her like they do George Floyd? I'm not defending anybody's actions here, though. This is the thing, Midwest, that you fail to understand. What you fail to understand is that this selective outrage and vilifying only one group serves nothing, and it serves nobody. Yeah, hey, I guess I have someone else derailing me too. The riots were bad and you agree on that. Well, okay. So we agree on that. Then why not say it? He didn't incite any cult. He didn't incite any cult. This is a build up. This is a buildup because of people on the left and people on the right, like Republicans, those fakers Republicans, and those ridiculous Democrats, who have done nothing to help people. And the media has done nothing but vilify people. I mean, look at this. And what happened at the Capitol? Yeah, it wasn't a riot. That was not a riot at all. You want to tell me people, and this is a good point that Dinesh D'Souza actually made. You want to tell me that people decided they were going to do an insurrection unarmed and without any sort of protections of themselves, and they were going to commit so-called acts of violence that were claimed without anything to do, like without anything in their hands to commit violence at all. And on top of that, when Trump said go home, they're like, okay, insurrection over, let's go home. I mean, the logic behind that, the leaps of logic to call that an insurrection is beyond retarded. There was no insurrection. There were a handful of people. This was all pre-planned. The Democrats themselves admitted this was pre-planned. They knew about this in advance, up to maybe even months in advance. The FBI knew about it. Politicians knew about it. So there was no inciting when something is pre-planned in advance as part of a political theater to do just what they're doing now. So no, your little narrative doesn't hold water, Midwest. So I'm not going to engage in this conversation further because I have a stream to do and I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about here. Oh my gosh, there's so much property damage, Illustrator. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm live, Super Susie. You got me live. I've been trying to get back into streaming daily, so it hasn't. Of course, there's always going to be a couple of days where I got stuff happening. Well, listen, and neither has Hillary Clinton. You said Trump still has not admitted he lost the election. Hillary Clinton didn't concede. So what? And she had told Joe Biden to not concede under any circumstance. And he should not concede. He should not admit that he lost the election because he did not lose the election. There's so much voter fraud that happened. There is reason to believe that he may have won. The problem is now that we'll never really know. This is the biggest problem that we have now. But this is what I was talking about yesterday too, about this sort of vilification that happens and dehumanization that happens in our country here. That there's just this constant attacking back and forth, and now you have websites like this, TrumpVoterList.org. They want people to submit names to this website for who voted for Trump. To what end? These people are creating a list of all Trump voters. I don't know if you've seen this, guys, but this is where we're headed now. We're headed that, what the Gina Carrera or whatever her name was that got fired from The Mandalorian. She was right. She made an apt comparison yesterday. I'm just wondering, am I going to get my little Star of David that I'm going to have to pin on myself now? Because I feel like I'm going to have to sooner or later here. Oh, jeez. Spammers are getting into here too. Well, people on Periscope can't see chat on screen, so whatever you're saying, Illustrator, they'll see it. I mean, this is apart from the the kind of semi joking that we do. Well, I mean, I don't really care if some people don't like it. The issue to me is like if it's an apt comparison, it's an apt comparison. If you're gonna treat me like a second class citizen, you're creating a list. Then what am I supposed to do? Just go, okay, pin your little label on me, consider me a second class citizen, don't allow me to use my money in my bank account. I'm not allowed to work. I'm not allowed to make a living just because I happen to have Carano. Thank you. I'm not allowed to live my life just because I happen to have a certain political ideology, which is there's nothing extreme about my political ideology. There's nothing extreme about my ideology. I mean, what's extreme? What's extreme about wanting my taxes to go, for example, to good things and not wasted on ridiculous impeachments, for example? Why is it uncouth to want to have just a secure country and have the laws followed and the Constitution followed? Is wanting the Constitution followed that extreme? Are we really at that point? Wanting my free speech rights respected and honored? Is that really something that's so crazy? Why is that crazy? Why should I not be able to express my opinion on something? Why should I not be able to vote for who I want to vote for? Oh, because the Constitution was written by evil white people. Well, I guess I. Wow, that's quite the pickle that we find ourselves in, isn't it? I mean, if what is the definition of extreme at all? No one says that himself that he's extreme. Well, actually, Super Susie, there are some people that do. And usually the people that call themselves extreme are those people that are on the left. You have these people that from Antifa that
look at those groups of Asians. Let's kick their ass. Look at all those people with the MAGA hats. Let's kill them.
Damn it! I knew someone was gonna clip that. Did the audio play through when I was playing those? Just want to make sure. Oh, that's funny. Those are clearly.
Hey, look at those groups of Asians. Let's kick their ass.
Those are clearly taken out of context. That doesn't even sound like me. I won't admit that's even me. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, perhaps Midwest, but and that's fine. You could disagree with me. There's nothing wrong with you disagreeing with me. But I'm not making stuff up. I am not lying. The statistics, the what Biden has done, for example, with the executive orders, he signed way more executive orders in 1 month than Trump ever did in the first month that he was president. And somehow everybody called Trump a dictator. For example. Yeah, no working for Disney for you. Oh boy. But yeah, no, this is where we're at now. We're at a situation in our society here where we're going down a very bad rabbit hole. This is a very bad rabbit hole we're going down when anybody who just supports Trump or votes for him are viewed as villains, are viewed as evil, or viewed as people that should not be viewed as human. And that you shouldn't be able to work, you shouldn't be able to live, you shouldn't be able to function in society. They want you dead. When they say stuff like that, when they want to cancel people, this is the biggest thing that people don't talk about when it comes to cancel culture. When banking institutions refuse to do business with people that are conservative, for example, they don't want to process your payments, like a Visa, like what they did with Andrew Torba. Essentially, what they're saying is, I want you dead. And I want your family dead. And I don't want you to live under a roof. I want you to be rotting on the side of the street here under a bridge. Well, listen, I am telling the truth. And if you don't believe me, do the research yourself, because I'm telling you that the unemployment numbers and the economic numbers that were under Trump were astronomical in comparison to like the anemic economy that we had under Obama and under Bush. George W. Bush. So, and he didn't start any new wars in the Middle East. We were energy independent. Our gas prices were going down. He had signed executive orders to bring the cost of insulin and other medicines down. His plan with COVID, for example, Biden hasn't changed it. Biden is pretty much saying everything that there's nothing else we can do. What Trump was doing is essentially what they are doing now. They're staying the course because there's nothing they can do to change the path of COVID. Meaning that whatever Trump and his administration and the CDC were doing back then is exactly what they're doing now. No difference, no change, no upgrades, no nothing. And you must understand something, Midwest. I think Trump is a fucking idiot. Which may come to a shock to you. That might be shocking to you to hear that from me. He made some big mistakes. He bungled up a few things. Including this whole, how he handled the, dial it back to what Trump said last February. What did he say last February? Last February, he was already acting on closing travel from China, for example, in the end of January. And Biden called him a racist. But now that Biden is closing down travel and talking about that, somehow that's not xenophobic and racist. I mean, listen, you live in your own fantasy world, Midwest, okay? I'm done interacting with you at this point. I'm just going to continue on with my stream. I mean, because if you want to ignore the reality of what happened because you just don't like Trump, that's your beef. That's your personal problem, and you're going to have to deal with that somehow. I look at everything. I look at everything and everybody, and I look at what happened. I look at the present, and I'm trying to look into the future to see what the fuck I'm supposed to expect here. Yeah, I know he said that. He tried to play it down because because the media was playing it up. You also have people like Bill De Blasio saying it's just a flu. Go to the to your uh, theater little festivals, to your movie festivals, and you had the commissioner, the health commissioner of New York City saying, "Oh, go ahead and just celebrate Chinese New Year." And you also had Pelosi saying the same thing in California. Go and celebrate. And then you had the media. Who? Luck 1223. Who's Luck 1223? Am I missing something? Like I said, he bungled things up too. I'm not saying that he was perfect. And of course he's going to play it down. Just like Obama played down the swine flu and Ebola. Oh, and guess what? There's new cases of Ebola now. Did you hear that? Did you see that in the news? I think it was the other day. There's new cases of Ebola popping up, and there's people are scared that you're gonna get another outbreak of Ebola. Yeah, because that's what we need. Like all this garbage wasn't enough. Listen, for all his faults, well, I'm going to conclude with this, Midwest. For all his faults and mistakes that he made, he still was way better as a president, way more effective as a president, and his policies were actually beneficial to Americans, regardless of his faults and regardless of the mean tweets. And if people could look past their little feels and actually look at the beneficial things that were happening under his administration, instead of trying to subvert him and insult him and fight with him on every single aspect of things that he was trying to do, then maybe we wouldn't be where we are right now. Maybe we would be in a better place. But unfortunately, no. No. Unfortunately, we're not. Unfortunately, you have to have, people on the left who want to encamp people like myself. You have people on the left who want to quote deprogram me. You want people to rewrite history. You want people to to not look at reality and make up their own. And to me, it's a sad state of affairs when our country is under like essentially dictatorship rule because there's nobody wanted to truly examine the election. To me, it's a sad state of affairs when now, in 2 years from now, we're going to have midterms. What the fuck is the point of voting? I would really like to know someone to tell me what the fuck is the point of voting at this point. There is no evidence to show me that our election system has any sort of integrity to it or legitimacy. I don't see anybody fixing shit. And then let's pretend things were fixed. Who the hell am I supposed to vote for? Republicans that betrayed the United States? A new party of rhinos that they want to form, the Never Trumpers? They want to form a their own party? Or should I vote for the Republicans that Trump, after he removed all the knives from his back, he went to and kissed their ring? Is that the party that I should be going to, or people that are like hardcore MAGA people that want to start their own Patriot Party that Trump distanced himself from? I mean, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do at this point as a conservative? There is nothing out there for me anymore. Oh yeah, the Lincoln Project pedos. Those guys, yeah. That's the lovely implosion. Have you seen what's been going on with those people? They're putting out statement after statement trying to like their ship is capsizing and they're like running around with their hair on fire. And they're trying to figure out how to decapsize their ship and it's failing spectacularly. They knew that people there were sexual predators. They got millions of dollars from people. That organization should be shut down. What's going on with this? Let me see. Lincoln Project workers would love to talk except for those Trumpian NDAs. An FBI probe has been launched? Really? Leaders of the Lincoln Project, the anti-Trump media venture, came under fire on Thursday night for six former. I didn't realize the number was up to six. Six former workers demanding to be released from non-disclosure agreements in order to talk about John Weaver, a co-founder who harassed young men online. Oh goodness, the FBI has opened an investigation into Weaver and the group or potential sexual predation of underage victims. Wow. Yeah, I saw someone tweet about that saying that that the Lincoln Project is going to change their name to NAMBLA. I'm sorry, that's just funny. I'm not gonna lie, that's funny. I need to create a soundboard. I was just thinking about that, like with the clips that I heard of myself before. Maybe I should create a soundboard. Yeah, I had the volume kind of low because I don't want to have to scream over it. Going back to that real quick. But listen, actually, I do want to say one thing to Midwest before I continue. I appreciate actually your input. I actually do. Even if we don't agree on anything, I appreciate that you came on my stream. I appreciate that you took the time to listen to me. I appreciate the time that that even if we don't agree on anything, because I don't want my stream to just be an echo chamber. I don't. And I appreciate people that may not agree with me that come on my stream or interact with me, and I invite everybody to watch my stream. So I am grateful to anyone who wants to listen, and I appreciate it. And even if we don't agree, we won't agree. But at least, no, it's not that I'm encouraging him. I'm not encouraging him. I'm just saying the point of my stream isn't to be an echo chamber. The reason why I started doing this is because I felt that I could extol some conservative values. I mean, I know that lately all I've been doing is ranting and raving and being salty, but the point that I'm trying to make a greater point here, even through my salt, and that I feel that there's value in listening to ideas that are different than your own. So I want people that are not conservative to listen. I don't necessarily want them to derail my stream, no, but they can listen. And if I have to disable chat, I suppose I can always do that too. But that's the point. It's a form of shilling in a way. It's a form of shameless self promotion. I agree, Illustrator. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be constructive. It's not going to be a constructive conversation if all they're saying is that he lied or I'm lying, and they're not providing any evidence to back that up. But no, I understand that. But I'm saying on a more just abstract macro level, anybody can come and watch me. I appreciate even if people don't agree with me, they can still come on. Because I had said earlier he can jump off the stream. I was like, you know what? Actually, I want to retract that. No, I'm not forcing anybody to watch my stream, and I'm not forcing anybody to stay on my stream. But I want people to come and watch me. The whole point of me streaming is because I want viewers. But yeah, that's hilarious though. Going back to the Lincoln Project, let's go back to that. I just want to detour there for a second. Um, that's pretty funny. The 6 former employees and associates called on the Lincoln Project to waive non-disclosure agreements, writing in an open letter which was provided to the New York Times that they wanted to be allowed to disclose information that would aid the press, public, and our donors in answering questions relevant to the public interest. Indeed, it would, but that's what NDAs are designed to prevent. Right now, the public has taken a large and if belated interest in the inner workings of the Lincoln Project, especially to find out where the money went. The top officials, who apparently were the main beneficiaries of that money, have every incentive to keep these people silent. And that's not even accounting for the Weaver scandal and who knew about it and when. So that's true. That's very interesting. And the funny thing is, like, these were the same people. These were the same people that were bitching and moaning about NDAs that were signed between Trump and third parties, saying that Trump should have released the NDAs. But no. They're not going to release them. I promise you, they're not going to release them. If they do, I'd be shocked. I mean, I could be wrong, and they may pull something out of their ass like that. They may surprise me. I have no idea. But I'd be quite shocked if they ended up doing that. Not gonna lie. I'd be quite shocked about that. But anyways, going on to the main topic. This is the main thing I want to talk about. I've been saying this for a long time. Ever since this broke out in May of last year, May 2020, I've been talking about the absolute horror show and shit show that is New York's and Governor Cuomo. I have been saying that this guy is a fucking murderer since May. And now all this shit is coming out that his aides admitted that they hid the numbers. They concealed information from the feds because they wanted to protect Cuomo, and they didn't want the numbers to reveal how bad their garbage policy was that sent people that were recovering from COVID, sent them into nursing homes. This was released. This information was out there since May of last year, and now it's making the news rounds. And not even because the mainstream media is not even really talking about it. This guy should be in jail. This guy should be in chains. Cuomo should be arrested. And anybody who aided and abetted him should be arrested as well. If de Blasio is involved, he should be arrested as well. Because a lot of stuff happened in New York City too. But I mean, there is argument to say that de Blasio was like, well, you know, if that was the order from the state, I was just kind of following the order or whatever. New York Republicans' impeachment and removal the only choice for Andrew Cuomo. Well, I would love to see that, but I want him to get arrested too. I want to see him. You know, I want to see if there's any criminal prosecution for his behavior. And not only him, though. This is the thing. See, okay, he's the poster child for this problem. He is the epitome of this problem. But on top of that, the problem isn't just him. You had other governors doing similar things, and we don't know what the real numbers are. For example, for, say, Governor Whitmer of Michigan. She did the same thing. You had a bunch of COVID people that were thrown into old people's homes, into senior homes and nursing homes. And I know for a fact, because this was reported, there were deaths. The governor's office will not release that information. Steven Crowder has sent like a lot of FOIA requests to try and get the actual number. They refuse. I mean, I am beyond words on this one. Because I have been screaming into the void about this for a long time. In a couple months, it'll be a year that I've been screaming about this. It's amazing. He lied to people about it, and he caused his actions directly resulted in the death of thousands, tens of thousands. It's mind-boggling. And nobody bats an eye about this in certain circles. It's infuriating. It's infuriating to me. And they give him awards, and he wrote a book on leadership. And people eat that shit up. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. It's unbelievable. This is where we're at. On leadership. Whoop. Oh, that's where we're at. I don't know. It's just frustrating. I'm just really frustrated about all this stuff because it's like the book has now been placed in the fiction section of Barnes and Nobles. Yeah. And now I think it's the like update on the impeachment. It's now I think the Republican side to present their defense. And honestly, you know, it's like I don't even care at this point. I don't really care at this point, and this is the reason why I don't care. Because one, the Democrats don't have enough Republican votes to convict. They just don't. And what they're going to do is they're going to find some way to try to prevent Trump from running again, no matter what. They're going to change the rules. I talked about this in my last stream yesterday. They're playing Calvin ball. For those that don't know what Calvin ball is, look up Calvin and Hobbes. He would play a game, and he would just make up the rules as he went along, and kept changing the rules when he started losing. And that's what they're doing. And then you have like dicks like this Adam Schiff who's saying that the GOP has become a Trump cult with no ideology or principles. No, it's not a Trump cult. At least not for me. Because the Republicans betrayed him at every corner. How is that a cult? Someone explain that to me. Like I like to understand that. If the party that was supposed to support him betrayed him when it mattered most and did not work with him at all in the 4 years of his presidency, how is that supposed to be a cult? I mean, someone tell me that. I mean, the Republicans were adversarial versus the Democrats, sure. Yeah. Because that's what they always are. But was that? Was that a cult? I don't know what they're talking about. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, everybody that was calling Obama a savior and anointed one, that he was gonna, he was like a messiah. This is the party that wants to call Trump and his supporters a cult. Is that so? Isn't it always ironic? Isn't it always ironic how the Democrats always accuse the others of doing what they do? I always find that fascinating. Like, I have not seen an example where their accusation rings true or their accusation is not a mere reflection of what they've done. I just find that amazing. Excuse me 1 second. Pardon me, I'm having some sinus issues as usual. Uh, okay, back to coffee. Well, I mean, he was their poster child. He could do no wrong. He lied consistently to people, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. And I don't know why anybody still lives in the UK. Good lord. I keep hearing news reports coming out of the UK. It's just insane. UK COVID police state draconian requirements, 10 years in prison if caught avoiding the law. Ridiculous. Anyone traveling to Britain from a country of the government's red list must quarantine in a hotel, which they will have to pay for. So then I don't even. So if I travel to the UK, they're forcing me to quarantine in a hotel, and I have to foot the bill, and have 3 COVID tests under draconian new laws being implemented by the government. The unprecedented. Whoops. The unprecedented and sweeping new rules were announced by Health Secretary Matt Hancock, who said that he makes no apologies for such severe measures. From Monday, anyone entering the country will have to pass 3 PCR tests in order to be allowed any freedom inside the country after they have completed a 10-day quarantine at a government-selected hotel at a cost of almost £2,000. How retarded. Security guards will be stationed throughout the hotels with police on standby if those inside try to leave before their release date. Hancock said that anyone caught breaking their quarantine would be fined £10,000, while anyone caught lying about coming from a COVID hotspot would be jailed for up to a decade. Are you joking? What the fuck is going on with the UK? I mean, I've said this for many years already. The UK, to me, we're headed in that direction. That's what liberals want. Yeah, the Chinese welded people's doors shut. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's videos of that where the Chinese were welding people inside their apartments. It was insane. No, the UK is a dictatorship at this point as well. It has been for a long time, actually. I mean, you can't even post something on Facebook that you're gonna get your ass arrested for just posting something that someone gets offended. Forget it. The UK is done. I've said this before. The UK for me is a particularly sad case because so many people died to try and keep it free. During World War II, there was so much sacrifice that was done by British soldiers, and basically all that the UK is doing now is just shitting on the graves of these people. Oh, geez, yeah, Count Dankula incredibly lucked out. The guy should get the fuck out of there. Actually, most people in the UK should get the fuck out of there. They should leave. The UK is no longer a place, like, I have no interest. I don't even want to lay over in there. Like, if I'm traveling, I have no interest of being in the UK at any point in my life at this point. It is pure putrid trash at this point. And anybody who stays there and lives there, I don't know what's going on in their head. I have to question their intelligence, and I have to question their sanity. Because if you are in that country and you're living under those conditions willingly, then I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You have some serious reckoning to do with yourself. You have some serious self-reflection to do. And we're getting there here. I promise you, we're going in that direction. I mean, the fortunate thing about the United States is that it is generational conditioning, yeah, but it's also geopolitical. It's geopolitical as well, and this is why I'm saying that. So here in the United States, because we have federalism, well, we have guns, yes, but we also have federalism. Texas can tell the federal government to go fuck itself to a certain extent, for example. So if the federal government wanted to impose shit like that, it was not as easy to implement here as it is there. You can still do it here. I'm not saying they can't, but you can have a governor like DeSantis or Governor Abbott of Texas just tell Biden, yeah, go fuck yourself. We're not going to. In fact, that's what DeSantis essentially said. DeSantis and the governor of Idaho, I believe, I don't remember his name, but the governor of Idaho pretty much said that they're not going to follow any sort of federal mask mandates or any federal mandates. They're going to ignore everything. So it's harder to implement something here because of how large the United States is, and because of federalism and the fact that state sovereignty exists. States have that sort of power that they can push back. You don't have that in the UK. That's the biggest problem in the UK. You have essentially a dictatorship from the top down, and the territories like Scotland or Ireland or whatever, they really don't have any say. They can't really push back or fight back. They can't do anything. They don't have the same level of like sovereignty that states here in the United States do. So the UK is fucked, in my opinion. It's horrid. It's a bad situation over there, and for those people that are suffering under that tyranny, good lord, I feel bad for you. I wish that you could get out of there, or find a way to clean house. But I don't know how. I don't know how you're gonna clean house in the UK. I really don't. And we're getting to a bad point here in the United States. We're getting into a really bad territory here. Very bad territory. And I don't know what to think exactly. So with that, there's one more thing I wanted to kind of make let's end the stream on a positive note. Twitter reports 1.14 billion net loss for 2020. I'm not sad about that. Why would I be sad about that? I'm not sad about that at all. They deserve it. So let's look at this real quick here. So American social networking company Twitter announced on Wednesday its financial results for the fiscal year 2020, saying it recorded a net loss of $1.136 billion against net income a year earlier. According to the company, 2020 net loss was 1.14 billion, representing a net margin of minus 31% and diluted EPS, earnings per share. Parler is garbage though. That's the problem. Project Veritas. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I don't know if many people heard, but yeah, Project Veritas got banned from Twitter. James O'Keefe is back on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, but I think Project Veritas is still suspended. Parler to me is a lost cause. I don't see Parler coming back in a proper way. I mean, they'll probably come back and they'll probably exist, but they've really hurt themselves. And people like myself, like I won't go. I'm going to remove my account from Parler once I'm there. It's not a secure platform. They didn't set themselves up properly. There's really no point in my view to go back to it. I think it's a bad choice to use it. So I don't plan on using it anymore. I plan on removing it once. I'm hoping that they come up just so I can delete my account off of their platform. Oh, Parler did a bad job. Okay, so let's put it this way. Parler started their platform. They saw everything that Gab went through. They saw the whole cancel culture. They saw the servers being removed from them. They saw the providers trying to hosting services trying to ban them. Domain registrars trying to ban them. They saw everybody. Credit card companies, not allowing them to process for their subscriptions and upgrades. For the pro versions of Gab and things like that. Parler saw that right in front of their very eyes, and they ignored it. They decided to go to Amazon Web Services for their cloud services. They're using, all these very lefty infrastructure for their app, right? And when the shit hit the fan, they were woefully unprepared. Woefully unprepared. On top of that, you had Code Monkeys from the Chans, who was telling Dan Bongino, because Dan Bongino is one of the a co-founder. He was telling him, "Hey, this stuff isn't secure. You guys are gonna get hacked. People can get data. This isn't encrypted. This is this." He was telling them there's all these problems. What does Dan Bongino do? Instead of going, "Oh, let me look into this and see if there's any validity to what you're saying," he starts fighting with Code Monkeys. He starts, they have this online, back and forth, and Code Monkey's like, "Listen, I'm just telling you what the holes that you have in your system here. I'm telling this for your benefit. I'm not criticizing or trying to attack your platform. I'm just saying you fix it." No, but getting hacked is a problem, because what happened before Amazon shut their servers down, you had people on the left who were getting into the servers to try and get personal data to persecute people, to create lists of conservatives and people that were on Parler to try and attack them and do them harm. So no, hacking is a big problem. And if these people don't have the foresight of making their platforms secure, and don't have the foresight of seeing that they're going to go through everything that Gab went through, I'm sorry, they're fucking retarded. And I have no interest in being on a platform run by monkeys who are just banging keyboards around. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They seriously have no clue. And I have no interest in being on a platform of that kind. I'm not getting back on Parler. I just said so. I've been saying it ever since they went down. If they come back up, all I'm gonna do is, yeah, Gab's still around, because they protected themselves now. Gab has insulated themselves in a way that they will not be able to be taken down by your traditional means. The left's going to have to go through some amazingly huge hurdles if they're going to try and take down Gab. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon now. Gab is essentially the best option at this point. The only problem with Gab is that Gab doesn't have its an actual native app. That's the only problem with Gab, is because the app stores and the Google Play stores refuses to put their app on there, even though Twitter has all the same shit and garbage that that Gab may or may not have. Well, it probably was a likely landing place for Trump. And honestly, I don't care where Trump lands. Well, yeah, Trump Parler got this huge target on their back, specifically for that. Because they thought there was rumors and there was talk that Trump was going to start posting on Parler, that they wanted to shut that down as quickly as possible, and that's what they did. Which is why he should have just gone on Gab, because they weren't going to be able to do it. Yeah, but at least the difference. You're right. If Trump said today that he was joining Gab, Gab would see hell like they haven't seen before. You're absolutely right. However, Gab has at least insulated themselves. They have at least set themselves up in a way where they have their own. They're kind of their own little separate entity within the internet. So it's nigh impossible for them to get canceled. It's not. Listen, anything is possible. It is possible that Gab could be taken down as well. I'm not saying that Gab is immune to that, but it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder to get rid of Gab at this point. So if Trump wants to join Gab, I would say he should. They reserved an account for him. Mine's is interesting. Okay, I don't mind using Minds. No pun intended. Uh, I find it interesting. I do like certain things about it. And that is true. Minds does not have the bad press Gab does. But tell you what, if any conservatives start migrating in large quantities to Mind, and you have maybe Trump joining it again, guess what? It's going to be the new villain of the week. And if Minds doesn't get their shit together, they're gonna go down the same path Parler did. That's the problem. So if all these platforms that are being built don't have some insular way of protecting themselves, they're going to be the next target. Because it's not a matter of when it's going to happen, because it will. It's a matter of just when it's your turn in that sense. Like, to me, if I were to let's say I started my own social media platform, to me, it's a given that they're going to try and cancel me. I just don't know when that's going to happen, but it will. It's not a matter of if it'll happen. Actually, that's what I meant to say. It's not a matter of if it'll happen. It's a matter of when. And when it's my turn. I misspoke earlier. That's the biggest problem that we've run into. And honestly, in my opinion, we shouldn't even be at this point. If on the Fediverse, no, I'm not. I've seen certain instances of the Fediverse get banned too. One of these conservative things got banned on the Fediverse as well, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to use Mastodon, but when I used one of those apps, it was because Gab had set themselves up way that you could actually connect through them through like Mastodon, so you can have a kind of a native app on your phone. So it was their way of circumventing the app stores, and it worked okay. I mean, it was all right. I don't think it was anything that special. I don't know too much about the Fediverse, so it might be an option to expand my social media outreach to there, but I don't know. I don't know if that's something. I don't know if that's something that I want to do or not. Oh wow. So Cuomo's really taking some shit because something just came up now within the hour here. Democratic senators are calling to rescind Governor Cuomo's pandemic emergency powers over nursing home COVID-19 scandal. Yeah, but when this was going on, in May, why didn't they give a fuck? Oh, because they wanted to hurt Trump. That's why. They wanted to bump up the numbers. Oh, speaking of numbers, did you hear about the fact that the COVID cases numbers and death numbers were bumped up by 1,600%? Did you hear about this? I'm looking at Twitter trends right now. So, let's see. This is from the New York Post. They're talking about this. 14 Democrats in New York. This is the New York State senators, by the way. This isn't like in DC. This is in Albany. Calling for the pandemic emergency powers granted to Governor Andrew Cuomo last March to be rescinded. Republicans who are in the minority have called for this for months, and now you got 14 Democrats in the New York Senate calling for this. There's also let's see. I thought there was a Wall Street Journal thing, but I was mistaken. Well, I mean, it's come up in my trends. It says an hour ago. It's trending with Cuomo. I'll show you what I got here. Let's see if it shows up on my. This right here. This has come up. It's a Twitter event. So, that's what a piece of shit. God, I can't even look at pictures of that human garbage ball. Well, at this point, they have no choice. That's the thing, Illustrator. His lackeys are narking. His lackeys are narking. His aides are narking on him. At that point, the Democrats' hands are tied. They can't protect him anymore. They can't protect him anymore when people are calling him out and betraying him. Oh, boy. But yeah. So, with that, I think we're gonna call an end to the stream for now. My coffee's cold and almost done, so I want to thank everybody for watching. And being that's Friday, obviously there's not gonna be a stream over the weekend. And yeah, everything should be okay for Monday, because sometimes Mondays can get a little crazy for me. So I should be able to get on stream Monday. And remember, kids, don't be complacent. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week. And we'll see what happens with this impeachment thing moving forward. Like I said, right now the Republicans are putting their defense forward. I don't particularly care, because no matter what, this whole thing is bullshit to begin with. Hey, thank you for the lemon, Illustrator. Much appreciated. All right, but I gotta take off here, kids. Have a great weekend. Bye.